Thinking of investing, working, or starting a business in the cannabis industry? We've got you covered right here on Plant Problems. Hosted by Tony Frischknecht, Plant Problems takes a different approach to cannabis than what you're seeing and hearing from the mainstream media. Come along with Tony and be in the know about how to invest, work, or start a cannabis business. Let's get the show started with your host, Tony Frischknecht.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. This is Tony Frischknecht here with Plant Problems. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I am happy to be joining you wherever you are at in your day right now. There's a lot of fun and exciting stuff, and I'm about to share some stuff that probably isn't the most fun, but it is crucial for your company. When you're starting off on your own, you just think so small, like you've got to work on this and you've got to put this together and make the product so you can sell to the customer, and you just wear many hats. I mean, you're the customer service, you're the accountant, you're the payroll guy, you're the buyer's agent, marketing person, VP and president all in one. So as a sole owner, you really have to think about this very carefully and think about where you want to see yourself. Because if you want to see yourself in a massively successful company, which I know a lot of you out there do, it's going to take some foresight and some planning to get there. Anybody doing anything big, it definitely takes more than yourself to pull it off. So how do you create that company or mindset that allows you to grow? I've been involved in several companies and I've forgotten to do a lot of these steps, and they cause a lot of problems. There's a lot of confusion that happens, and there's a lot of arguments that happen. Simply the case is that I didn't work on any of them. Part of the reason was I was just ignorant to what they were and how they work together, and how to really work on your business and not in your business. The whole idea of an entrepreneur is to grow something great and fantastic. Well, you can't do that if you're writing the payroll checks, if you're paying taxes. Yes, somebody has to do it now, no doubt. And that somebody's probably going to be you. So take that, understand that, swallow it, but know that you're there to build a company. You're not there to build a product. You look at guys like, not sure if you know the story about Ray Crockett, but Ray Crockett basically took somebody else's idea and made it better. The two brothers that started up McDonald's, they did an amazing job on creating a system that worked like clockwork and spit out burgers as fast as they could and turn customers through real quick. And Ray Crockett saw that, took advantage of that relationship, and ended up taking it way further than the brothers ever did. I believe when they split up, they kept their McDonald's, and I think Ray Crockett, from what I understand, Ray Crockett never paid them some money that he had promised them. But he was working on the company and creating it to be bigger. He wasn't finding all these smart people. He was working on these different systems for his business. Well, in accounting, you as the owner, for now, you're going to be making payroll. You're going to be paying the taxes. You're going to make sure you have enough money in your account. You're going to be paying the bills and writing the checks, yes. But to really systemize these things and create a program for the next person to follow is really what you're trying to do as you're building your business. You learn it, you build a program, and you find somebody to put in there that can follow your program. And then you move to the next task, marketing. And you work through that, and then you move to the next task. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here because you really should sit down and figure out all the hats in your company, especially more so if you have a business partner, so you guys can delegate who's doing what and what they're responsible for. The responsibility of this business is both of yours, but there can be a lot of finger pointing and blaming others if you don't build somewhat of a corporate structure. That corporate structure sets it up to where you are a shareholder. If you bring in outside money, they understand the system you're creating. It makes you a lot more attractive to either outside investors or companies looking at buying you, because so many entrepreneurs rely on their company to feed them. They don't look at they forget about the big picture as you're in business to grow it and build it, and a lot of the time sell it. We forget about it because I think we fall in love with what we do and we think, oh, well, we can start this business and run the show, and I'm so good at making these products, nobody else can do it. Well, that's BS, guys. There's a lot of other people that can do what you're doing out there. But what a lot of people forget to do is create a system around it. But taking and breaking down your company and creating an organizational chart is a good first step. It's kind of like, I would probably invest as much time or more in this as you would on your business plan, because you need to break down what are the main departments, and then you got to make subcategories in those departments, because each thing's going to have to be followed, and you're going to have to document it and document each step, so that I've heard it so much, and then I kind of feel like I've been a little ignorant to the fact, but so many people say, well, I just find somebody smarter than me. This is the case sometimes, but the problem with that is if you find somebody smarter than you that's running your company, they're going to run it how they were taught. And so if they have bad habits, they'll bring those right into your company. You want to create a system that can be made for anybody that has some skills in that field, can come in there and follow your system to the T. That way, there's nothing missed. And, for God's sakes, it's your company. You want to run the way you want it. It also keeps you from having to micromanage the stuff, because nobody wants a micromanager, and it's not a fun job to be always looking over somebody's shoulder. And I see it so much, and it's a bad habit that a lot of people have. They got to make sure everything's perfect. Well, you know what? Everything's not always perfect. So the best thing you can do is document it. And there's so many different ways of documentation. I know this is really just a quick blip of the information that you're going to have to collect, but I really want to get you thinking about this. And hopefully if you're in the starting stage of this, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to put that. That's one of my big to-dos. Besides the business plan, like I mentioned, it should be a big focus for where you're going to head and how you can build a company that's not reliant on you. Again, it's such a big mistake. Again, I'm guilty of it myself. But now that I know, I'm not doing it again. Why would I make that headache again? It's just, I have to work harder in the beginning. And it's hard to work for nothing, because that's what you're doing to your friend or your neighbor down the street. Oh, you're working all these hours and you're not making any money. Well, it's part of being a business owner. You got to plant some seeds and start building this thing, or you'll never see any money. I get really frustrated when I see business owners and people that they think they should be making money right out of the gate. I'm going off on a tangent here, but it frustrates me because I really didn't see a paycheck for 3 years before I saw a paycheck, and I was working my second job the entire time just to feed myself. And even when I got that paycheck, I was only making $36,000 a year. I mean, most of you out there that are in your jobs are probably making well over that. Some of you in the 6-digit realm. So I hope I can help you learn from some of my mistakes and really take this part of your business seriously, because it's going to save you a lot of headache in the long run. And you're going to be able to enjoy yourself more too. Let's get these things done for you so that you can keep building your business and finding the next person to put in the position, take your spot, and train them and teach them and go. And that's what your job as a entrepreneur is. Don't get caught up in making the product or making the widget. It's great that you have that knowledge and you understand that, but you're not going to grow your business there. You're going to create yourself potentially a really good job, but as a business owner, you don't want a job. Maybe some of you do. I could be wrong, but as a business owner, I don't want a job. I work for myself and I work my hours that I want to work. And hopefully I get to that point someday. I mean, I am currently in my situation, but it wasn't always that way. It took a long time, over a decade to get there. Some of you guys might do it faster. I'm kind of slow in that setting, but one thing is I've learned to work hard. It's taught me how to work really hard on everything I do. So there might be guys that are out there that are smarter than me or quicker than me, but in the long run, I will beat them every time. And the reason I'll beat them every time is because I don't give up very easily. I am relentless when it comes to getting this stuff and overcoming obstacles and succeeding when nobody else does. That's what I do. And I think you guys out there, there's a lot of you out there that know you can do it too. And so if you get in that mindset, you don't have to be the brightest guy out there, but you have to work hard. And when I say work hard, that doesn't mean you're working physically hard with your hands. You got to be smart when you're working hard too. You don't want to be making the same mistakes, but you'll have to learn the same mistake a couple times. And that's your own fault. But you need to realize that, learn from it, and not do it again. That's what I think kills most people's spirit, is they keep making the same mistake over and over again. So I hope I said some helpful stuff in there for you guys today, and always grateful for my listeners out there. You guys are awesome. I look forward to bringing you guys some really good stuff over the next several months. And please let me know if there's any subjects you guys want to talk about. Of course, you can reach me on Facebook and Twitter. You can also, on my website, blackmarketbook.com, you can do a request in there and ask me questions through that. I will also be having some place for requesting on the podcast as well. So, hey, thanks for listening, guys, today. I really appreciate you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.
You've just listened to another insightful episode of Plant Problems. If you like what you heard so far, don't forget to tell your friends and colleagues. For additional resources or to leave a review, head over to plantproblem.com. Join us again next week on Plant Problems with Tony Frischknecht. We look forward to having conversations with you as we go along this journey.